Yes, yes. How are we doing? What's happening, guys and girls? We're back. Just need to check the audio on this, make sure we're sounding good. We're back. Need to check the audio. Yeah, we're sounding nice. We're sounding crispy. So how is everyone? Hope everyone's good on this fine Friday. I hope everyone is good. What's going on, Glim? Welcome, brother. It's been a while. It's been a while, that's for sure. So we do have a little bit of music in the background today. It's like very, very subtle, just some real chill, just some real chill beats, just to take the silence out of it when we're not actually, constantly going on about something. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone is doing good. So yesterday afternoon, we sat down. I'm an EA developer. Would you like to try it? No, I'm good, dude. Cheers. We sat down and we spoke to some of our students and we spoke to some of our members. And we actually devised a really nice sort of, I don't want to say entry model because it's not an entry model, but a nice I suppose it is an entry model in a way, but a nice way to navigate the markets in between the points when you're hitting these high points of liquidity. So when you're looking at what you're seeing in price action, a lot of the time you're going to see these big lulls. Like yesterday, there was a big lull between price actually coming to an area that we want to sell it from and then an area that price is actually interacting with these points of relevance. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to put this onto subscriber only mode. So if you're not a subscriber already, make sure that you become one in the next couple of seconds. 2 seconds here, guys. Remember, if you haven't hit that like button already, make sure you do. Okay, there we go. Right. Chat is now on subscriber only mode. If you are a subscriber, make sure you say hi. If you're not, of course, just hit that subscribe button and you can gain access to the chat. So what we're looking at, right, is the understanding of this. When we have price action delivering something and our bias is bearish, for example, we're looking at these points being contacted for the context to then play out into the lows, right? Now, what we've realized is when price doesn't want to come back to these areas and price ultimately just continues going down, what it will do is consistently place lows in the market that just continually get swept. So we devised a system that ultimately runs in the same principle, if you were, as that. And we will show you some development on it and so on in the coming weeks. But at the moment, it's nothing more than theory. Okay, we're calling it like a gap filler, essentially. It fills the gaps in between these major points of liquid being hit. So a great example would be like gold here. You see how gold hit the high yesterday? There wasn't an entry, whatever. and then it puts in lows, runs the low, puts in a low, runs the low, puts in a low, runs the low, puts in a low, runs the low. Consistently will just deliver the new lower pricing over and over. And it's even done it here, like in New York. Runs the low here, runs the low here, runs the low here. Okay, this point here, we don't actually run any lows until here. But now we're still continuing to run the low again. So being able to just jump on that continuation move is going to be more valuable than sort of just being static in the market, right? But like I say, this is the first sniff and the first real look at it. Now, the main things we're looking at for today are, if we go on to the fundamentals here, 45 minutes, we have a big old chunk of US news. So we want to make sure that we're being aware of this and we're not, jumping into any premature trades before this happens. 45 minutes, so it's not a huge amount of time, okay, until we are actually going to be seeing some volatility come into the market. And then shortly after that, we have the New York Open. So we're not like crazy times away from, extra volatility. So got to keep that in mind. Okay, so when we come on to some of our other pairs, like Euro here, for example. See this. Got some lows in here. Same thing here, right? When you come onto like the 15-minute or the 5-minute, look, the same thing's happened here. Came down, we put in a high. So now, if we run this, chances are we're going to see a continuation into that. So we'll mark that up and see if price does. Yeah, we're just following on through our bias here. My hand's really itchy today. So there's 8 people in the live stream right now. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, make sure you do. We will be back on TikTok next week. We're not back on it just yet, but we will be back on it next week. There's an example of the same principle here on GJ. You can see here the way that we've ran this now. Price is going higher, same thing. It moved up, placed a high, then we ran it, and we'd expect a continuation. It's just looking at what's price doing. What are we expecting price to do? We're expecting it to go bullish. Do we want to spend our whole time waiting for it to pull back? No. So use this system as a way to sort of capitalize on potential short-term moves. Again, we don't want to go too crazy in depth with it because we don't have any solidified details or data. But that's the key element to it. So we've run a 4-hour high here in our bullish market of Euro Japanese Yen. We were looking yesterday at price action pulling back to some of these lows. We didn't get it. We only got price moving higher. Which again is a good example of when you have a bias and you expect it to do a certain thing, we should just expect it to do that thing and keep delivering that thing. We shouldn't expect it to reverse. What's this? Oh, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love. Big shout out. Welcome to the PSS fam. Welcome, welcome. So very soon, guys, we are going to be having a collection of events. Welcome from Brazil. We're going to be having a collection of events that are only going to be available to the VIPs in the Discord, members on YouTube, and subscribers of the TikTok. Now, our TikTok, of course, at the moment doesn't have any subscribers. That's fine. But we are going to be continually putting those content moves forward. Some of those are going to be backtesting sessions. But the main thing that we're going to be focusing on is showing the new sort of understanding that we need to have as traders, which is when we have points in price, we want areas to come to, we want price action to come to these areas, right? What is the main thing we need to do? Well, instead of constantly expecting a pullback, instead of it constantly expecting this, we should always expect continuations. Always expect continuations. Now remember, the delivery of price is going to be dictated by how well we're understanding what we're looking at. Now, people may think, well, that doesn't make sense. The delivery of price is going to be based off of how well we understand what we're looking at. Well, the perception of a good price delivery is defined by your understanding of price. A good price delivery is not pulling back to go long, pulling back to go long, pulling back to go long. A good price delivery will be that we are bullish and we expect bullish, we expect bullish, we expect bullish, we expect bullish, right? That's a good price delivery. Good price deliveries aren't dictated by us being in the trade. Yeah, it's just a simple way. It's not dictated by that. So we always have to make sure that we keep that understanding at the forefront of our mind. Let me go back here 1 second. Where are we? Here we go. So we've got 3 people in the live view right now, I believe. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you do. So today we're also going to talk about data, and we're going to talk about the understanding that price action, delivery, and the data that it gives you are going to provide you with a context of the market that you must make sure you're paying attention to. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just say, for example, we have a delivery of a move that goes something along the lines of this. So let's actually just go to UJ, because we've actually had some good deliveries on UJ. Like here, right? This trade right here. We had a beautiful delivery here, and price action moved up into a favorable area. We didn't get out at full profit, we only partialed, and then price decides to deliver down and our bias changes. Okay. Difficult to operate with big players. That's what we ultimately form our whole strategy around. So I am not just a random guy on YouTube. I actually work with institutional size firms, and we look at the way that they monitor the markets and the way that they analyze things. And then the system we use is based around the principles that they focus on. So if you have LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's Ross Hayes. You can find me on LinkedIn. You'll be able to see some of the criteria and stuff that we look at around that. So I understand completely what you're saying about it's difficult to operate with big players, but we look to move with those big players. Now, when we're looking at price action and we see this delivery and we go, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Awesome. Can't believe it. This is amazing. Really, what we need to be looking at is what is it that this makes up in terms of the data we've already collected. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, once you've consistently learnt the rules and you can analyze the market consistently, you will be back testing that market, whether it's live or in a true back testing condition. So once you've gathered the data, what you're going to start to realize is your hit rate, honestly, so your RR is going to be the main thing that is going to dictate this. Your hit rate, okay, is not going to dictate the probability of your system. The RR is going to dictate the overall hit rate. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the system itself is going to present to you a certain hit rate. So let's say it presents a 40% hit rate. Many people will spend their time saying 40% is not sustainable. It needs to be better. Da 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 da. When really, if you just adjust the RR profile, the minimum risk to reward, the percentage of hits in terms of what the system is delivering is going to become a lot less relevant. So you don't want to spend your time trying to refine a delivery of a trade. Just understand that keeping the simplistic side of your trading system is going to help you do more than most other people are going to be doing. So right here we had a bullish entry that was given, but we're bearish, right? So many people rush to take each trade, but instead we should just look at the main thing, which is being given to us, which is a rule set that gives you a potential move. In this case, we didn't take the move. Here, an entry that delivers a potential move. In this case, we did take the move. Understanding that the probability always remains the same. It doesn't change based off of entry to entry. What you're going to realize once you get into a bit more independent side of your trading career is that you're going to spend a lot of time taking wins, yes. You're going to spend a lot of time taking BEs, and you're going to spend a lot of time taking losses. But understand that most of your time is going to be made up of these things. Okay? Break-evens and losses. Why is it that so many people sort of are scared to talk about this principle and talk about the understanding that these are going to make up a very large amount of your data? Well, the problem is that's not appealing to your new traders, is it? That's not appealing to someone that you're looking to advertise your lifestyle to. So it's really important that when you look at what people are offering you and what people are showing you, that the main thing is this: regardless of the lifestyle that they show you, regardless of the profits that they show you, the main thing that is going to dictate success is going to be the system. Yeah, the system is going to dictate your success. As simple as that. The simplicity of it is irrelevant. How well it delivers across the space of a day is irrelevant. Excuse me. But the main thing that is relevant is the data that you get from that system. So, for example, we had... where was one of the trades that we had? Euro. We had a nice entry down here. Yeah, we didn't take it again. We weren't on the market here. It was like 9 p.m. And then we also had this, which was a trade we spoke about yesterday. Okay, now the market is going to repeat the same process over and over and over and over again. We just need to understand where our relevance stands in that. So let's walk through the idea of what it is that we're actually trying to do, especially when it comes to like this market, Euro, British Pound. When it comes to the principles that we're trying to show you, the main thing is always this. The market moves every single day. Areas that the market moves from hold liquidity. There is no ifs or buts about this. This is clearly one of the pillars of your market understanding, okay? The reason why it's clearly one of your pillars is because you don't have to be a genius to see where highs and lows are. It's really, really simple, okay? Really, really simple where the highs and lows are. Now, what we're looking at in terms of this is these points are a visible representation, so a visible side effect of large institutional firms injecting pools of liquidity into the market. Now, it isn't just they chuck money into the market. It is based around the principle of this. There are investors, big investors. There are big clients, and they're looking to change huge amounts of liquidity at certain price levels. I usually have good results at night after 11 p.m. Brazil time until 4 a.m. I don't know what time frame Brazil is on. Let me check 1 second. Brazil time frame. Okay, so you're like trading Asia, I think. Actually, you're only 3 hours different from the UK. So it's not a huge difference. So these pools of liquid, okay, sit in the market because people are wanting to change their currencies at certain price levels. Now, you've got to think about it like this. When you go on holiday and you exchange currency and you say, I'm going to Europe, for example, I'm going to Brazil, if you were. We're changing these currencies. Let's say we're doing 200, 300, 400, 500, £1,000, right? Having the 0.85, which is what the conversion is to the euro to the British pound, that is not going to really change a huge amount. The 3 digits that come after this aren't going to dictate whether you have £100, £200, £300, £400. But you guys can't even see that, can you? Oh, 1 second. Let me just go back. Okay. But when it comes to the big banks that are trading billions, all of a sudden, these last 3 digits begin to make a big difference in the conversion rate that they're actually going to get. So if you're trading across, let's say, $1 billion, the last 3 digits is going to dictate, you know, whether you're taking a 200k, $500,000 kind of hit. So it's really important that we focus on these large moves in the market because these are the most ideal areas that big movers have come in and out of the market, telling us where they're happy to convert their currency, telling us where they maybe have shifted their sort of positional direction, if you were. But we use them as the points of interest and the points of relevance for our system. So for example, if we come up to these areas and we see a given thing within here, we can sell them down to the lows. Now remember, we have the Keep It Simple series here on YouTube. If you want to watch that series, it will walk you through the basics of this system, the understandings we have here of price movement, and you can see the same principle here, look. And many people will say, well, this is Asia high, that's why it's done it. But the relevance doesn't change. It's still a 4-hour point on the market. We've still taken it out and we've still seen a given thing afterwards, meaning the probability of price action running lower from there is a lot higher. Now you can see we had the area and price delivered lower. Beautiful. We didn't take this because of the low risk reward. Remember what I said earlier. If you have a certain hit rate that's delivered by your system, you can ultimately change what the hit rate is telling you. Well, not what the hit rate is telling you, but what the hit rate delivers based off of the minimum return that you take per trade. So let's take a look at some of our pairs here. So again, what we're looking to do, we're looking to follow the bias into newer highs. We're bullish. So many people think that price action has to move like this. Yeah, it doesn't. It can literally go. It doesn't have to pull back into areas where it's good for us to buy. It doesn't have to do anything except for continue on its journey and its direction that's already established. So remember we spoke about Euro earlier. If price action continues to mess around, it may come down, take out the highs, go higher. It may come down into these lower points of liquidity, which again we will look to follow it higher. Remember what I said, if it takes out this high here, goes like this, I believe we'll just expand up into the highs, personally. And that's all to do with our bias continuing. I don't. So we use the Orion trading system here at Pip Surfing Society. So you can learn the system completely free. We don't use indicators really, except for some basic things. It's a completely ground up system. So it's from the ground, daily time frame, all the way up into your entry time frame. It's going to cover everything you need, and there's no discretion either. Unfortunately, we don't use RSI, etc. Okay, remember guys, we have 25 minutes now until news. 25 minutes until news. I'm going to be back in 2. I'm going to go grab a coffee. Remember, if you haven't already hit that follow button, make sure you do. If you haven't already hit that thumbs up button, make sure you do. And I'll be back in 2 minutes to continue exactly where we are right now. Yes, what's happening, guys? Morning, Bruno, what's happening, brother? Thank you very much. Of course, man, no problem at all. Not sure what you guys are saying, but what's happening? Okay. So, let's have a look at what we can expect for the rest of this day today. Now remember, it is Friday, so generally at the end of the week the market does start to slow down a little bit. Doesn't slow down a crazy a lot. I appreciate it, Bruno. Big love, man. Appreciate it. So when we're looking at what prices, it also says coffee. When we're looking at what price is delivering us today, we can see a couple of different things. Now, if we go to like Euro, it's a good place to start. We're seeing this, right? Now remember, the indicator I have on the screen right now, or on my candlestick, should I say, is a volume-based indicator, and this is all to do with our Orion trading system delivering higher than average volume to certain points. Is a very good telltale sign that Institute has some form of involvement in there. Again, what we don't want to do is try and dictate a market movement. So remember, the market is completely open. It can do exactly what it likes whenever it likes. It can do any number of things when you're in a trade, any number of things when you're waiting to get into a trade. So understanding the element of what is the market telling us, and then having that as the idea that is most probable, is always going to be the best way to navigate it. Now, a very simple way to do that is, what are we looking at here? Well, price is clearly traveling up, right? We also have a bias of bullish. Okay, now this indicator right at the top of the screen, like right up the top there, you can get that completely free if you go to the Pip Surfing Society trading view, get the indicator from the trading view, add it straight onto your charts. Okay, once you've got it on your charts, you've got it for life. It's free. We're not going to make it paid for. There's no secret hidden cost. You know, it's completely free. So you can grab it if you want to. It's going to give you a very good, consistent daily bias. So we've got a couple of different things. Price action clearly moving in a direction. Let me make the thickness of that bigger. So clearly moving in a direction. Our bias is clearly bullish. So what we should expect is a continuation of this. Now, something I want you to take note of. I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to load my Epic pen here. So it's just a lot easier to use than the pen on TradingView. Loading. Here we go. Now, one of the things that you should take note of is, look how the low area here has high volume candle, high volume candle, high volume candle. You can't actually see that 1 second. I keep forgetting that I'm using the mobile format. Apologies for any long-term viewers that, you know, aren't used to the mobile format, but horizontal just doesn't give us the views, like it really doesn't. So you can see here we got high volume in the lower area, right? Then we have no volume in the middle, then we've got high volume again at the top. Now what this does is it shows you in a realistic example exactly what we were talking about earlier, which is when you have a given movement in the market, so price for example is doing this, right? And these points are areas where Institute has been happy to get in and out. Now, what is the key signature of Institute getting in and out? Volume. So what we're seeing at the top and bottom of this move, volume. Okay, so it's a good sort of how would I say, key, if you were, to making all of the points that we can see within this market make sense. What are we seeing right now? Well, we're seeing a big push to the upside, And we're seeing a very, very poor pullback with no volume in it at all. So what we should expect is a delivery into those highs. Remember, what happens in the market is a lot of people spend their time trying to predict price action coming down when it's traveling up. A lot of people trying to predict price action that's traveling down, pushing up. Okay? So we use the most common sense way to navigate this, which is, if price is going up, expect it to keep going up. If price is going down, expect it to keep going down. The biggest mistake you can do is think that you'll predict a reversal. So, remember the area I spoke to you guys about earlier? Right here. This is a low that has been created, a high that has been created whilst price is moving up relatively aggressively. If we push above this, I would almost guarantee we're going to see an expansion up into the highs. Now, of course, I can't guarantee anything, and I'm not telling you to trade this. This is nothing more than educational. There is no financial advice here. Many people that have traded alongside me or my concepts for a long period of time will know that I don't ever tell you anything is 100%, but what I do tell you is go and test it yourself, and you will see the probability play out for yourself. Now, of course, we would like to see areas of relevance be hit, which is like here and here. We want to see these areas be hit. And the reason for that is because price action itself does like to correct, and we know this, but how often do we have a bullish bias like this, right? We have a bullish bias and price just goes bullish, 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 and we just go, oh, we didn't get any trades, whatever, wait for the bias to change. How many times? A lot of times. Now, there are scenarios when you do get pullbacks like this, you know, where price is coming in and then pulling back and then pulling back and pulling back, but there are a lot of times when it doesn't do that. And there's a lot of times when you'll be waiting, you know, like best part of a day for price action to come to these levels. So it's always based off of the same thing. Is the data that you've collected through backtesting telling you that you should do a certain thing? Yes? Great. Then we do nothing more than let the market play out. Nothing more than let the market play out. The market itself is only going to deliver when it's ready to deliver. So when you're in a trade, it doesn't actually matter whether you're in that trade or not, because the same thing's going to happen whether you shut your eyes and you don't look at the chart, whether you stare at the chart for 6 hours constantly, whether you set your order and you walk away, whether you're in the trade, whether you're not in the trade. The market is still just going to do any number of things that it wants to do. Just having that small edge is going to show you big long-term outcomes. The 4-hour chart view is very good. Best chart reading I've seen so far. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. We've been doing this for a long time, so you know there's a lot of confidence that we have in our work because we know it works, essentially. But the main thing is always following price as it delivers a bias. What we don't want to do is force our opinion on the market. It's very easy to do that, like force your opinion. The best thing is allow price to play out. Just allow it to play out. So you see here how we're bearish. We have a high here. We have a high here. So we have two different highs that we're looking at price to potentially interact with. We're bearish. Now, in the same context, we have a low. We want price to come down to this low, right? That's what we're looking for price to do. So if we're expecting a target to be hit, probability of the areas above for you to trade from being hit are less. That's why it's always important to remember we don't actually interact with the market unless it either delivers our bias or if it pulls back to one of these points of relevance. So using the same principle that I said before, similar to this, right? If we take out this low here, I would not be surprised if we continue to deliver lower. Would not be surprised. So remember what I said here about Euro? If we come up and take out this high, I would expect to see above this point relatively high volume pushing price right up into those targets. And this is another thing, chat. I do not claim to be Mystic Meg. I don't care if I'm wrong. The amount of times I've been on like TikTok live streams or YouTube live streams and something hasn't worked and people have been like, oh, you're so wrong. It's like, that's one scenario that is playing out over the course of like a year, a week, a month. Like that's one scenario. Like one scenario doesn't dictate anything. The only people that care about being right or wrong in this industry are ones that have an ego or they're trying to prove something. Right, so look, we've crossed this now. I would expect to see now high volumes, the market pushing up really aggressively through into these highs. Let's see. Like I said before, guys, I don't care if I'm wrong. It doesn't bother me if I'm wrong. It makes no difference. It makes no difference. Working with the lowest possible risk, would 30% of the value be ideal for an operation? 30% of the value? Do you mean 30% of your account? Hopefully not. Generally, I tell my students, and I generally trade myself with like 1/4%. 1/4% risk is a good risk profile. 1/4% risk will allow you to take any string of losing streaks and still be in a relatively good position in terms of your capital. So remember, we have to prepare. Prepare to lose, don't prepare to win. Prepare to lose, don't prepare to win. What's going on, Daniel? Welcome back, brother. Hope you're good. So remember what I said here, guys. We've taken this out. So I now expect price to expand up into these highs. Now, it doesn't matter if we sit here and plays around. It's the price action that comes after that we're more interested in. And it's also fine to be wrong. So GJ was another thing that I was saying earlier. We would expect this to just push up into these highs, right? Chilling. Yeah, make the most of it, man. I think we've got news coming soon, right? Yeah, 5 minutes till news. So that push could be the news push. We'll see. If I have $1,000, can I work without getting rich with 10% of the correct amount? Can I work with... Can I work without getting rich with 10% of the correct amount? So my biggest thing would always be, if you have $1,000 to work with, that's like your baseline. Always work with funded accounts. That's the main thing. I personally would allocate it like this. Allocate like $100 of that to getting yourself like 12 months of FX replay, for example, like down below, FX replay. We've got a link, I think it's like 5% off or something like that. Get that for 12 months, or get it for a month, get it for 2 months, whatever. It's like, I think it's like $12 a month or something silly. Okay. Collect your data, and then even if you have $900 left, you can go and buy like a collection of funded accounts. And funded accounts are going to allow you to trade with higher volume than you would normally have. Yeah, that's the main thing. Data is always going to be king. What we shouldn't look to do is turn small accounts into large sums, because mathematically it just doesn't make sense. Always remember that we are working in a numerically driven industry, so we have to be numerically correct when we're within the industry. Without numbers backing up what we're doing, the probability of it happening is a lot less. Excuse me. So remember what I called for here. Anything above this, I believe this is the point where we're going to see that nice move to the upside. We do have news in a few minutes, so this might not be the best time to like look at that. So what's everyone been doing this week? Has everyone had a good week so far? I hope so. Not in terms of trading, I just mean in general. Of course, dude, no problem. So gold just running bearish. Nasdaq, same thing. USD chef. Okay. Let's go Euro JPY, because I'm interested to see what this is actually doing here. How long till news? 1 minute, guys. Make sure that if you are in any positions, you are safe. You know, you don't want to be getting any tears coming back. Yeah, 100%, dude. And then make sure you share. Make sure you share your results in the Discord. Help to make set up their gym today. Nice, love that. What kind of equipment did you get in there? Bro's done weights and hasn't even actually been to a gym. I've just got, so I'm a small framed guy. I've always been I've always been relatively small, if you were. So I've never been one to try and be big. Okay, news is in. And I've always made sure that I stay on top of my fitness, but without being like crazy in terms of like trying to be big or whatever. So I've just got a little 15 kg bag that I do like all of the exercises with. You know, like the over the back lifts and biceps and triceps and just sit-ups holding the bag and stuff. Like, it's a very, very small amount, but what I do is I do reps until the point where I can't do it anymore. So obviously it's good for that, but I've never been one to get big, you know. Studio strength room, major weight plates and sleds, etc. Yeah, nice. Love that. Love that. That's dope. Okay, so big expansive move across those highs. It's kind of what we were explaining earlier. Obviously, this is like fundamentally driven, so it's not as good as you sort of it's not as good, but it's not as it's not like it's just true raw price action. No, this is like news is driving it in that direction. Yeah, I think the main thing with me is I just eat all the time. Like, I eat so much. Not even necessarily good things, but I eat so much. So Euro showcasing a beautiful example of what we were talking about. GJ, not so much. But we're still bullish on it. We still think it's going to push up a little bit here. Been in full snack time. Yes, full snacking. The thing with me is I do like intermittent fasting, if you were. So, for example, in the office, like today, I will just have like 2 cups of coffee. That's all I'll have from all the way in the morning until I get home to have dinner. I won't have, lunch or anything like that. I'll take time to have a rest, but I'm not eating during that period. I just drink coffee. So I suppose you could call it intermittent fasting. Eat quality steak. Yeah, I love steak, dude. Steak is so good. So good. Yeah, I don't even do lunch. Just straight to the dinner. Straight to dinner time. Does the news help in our daily operation? Or has little influence? Is it of great importance? Yes. Can you tell me about any news that has an impact on your operation? Yeah, so essentially anything that has a red folder tag on it. So whenever you look at, whether you're looking at my FX books or Forex Factory or, wherever it is that you decide to get your news from, anything that has a red, so you see it here, high, sometimes they just have little red folders, literally little red folders. Anything like that is going to fluctuate the market that it correlates to. Generally, the USD is going to fluctuate most markets because it's a very leading currency, isn't it? So the main thing is concentrating on when are these time periods. So when is the news coming? Why? Well, let's say, for example, let's say we had a buy stop on this high, right? And we were buy stopping this high because of what I explained. And I said, oh, we want to push through into these highs. Okay. What would happen is if you get triggered during the news event, it will hit your order. And because of the traffic, it won't actually put your order into the market until like here. So it's putting you in a worse position. Now, also spreads are going to be worse. So you could even see it being higher than that. It then means you have the same thing if, let's say you weren't, okay, let's say that you weren't, let's say we're trying to sell it. Say you're trying to sell it and you had your stop loss here. When price hits this stop loss, there's going to be a delay. Because of the volume in the market, there's going to be a delay. Which means your stop loss will probably close out like here or here. Meaning you're going to take a bigger hit than you should. This is called slippage, and it happens with all brokers. Generally, it's just based off of the fact that every broker has a delay of execution. So the executional delay generally is around 0.1 to 0.3 seconds, give or take. Because you're sending a message that I want to buy or sell, or I want to exit. Then you send that to your broker, they send that to the liquid provider, and so on. Unless they're B-booking you, but I don't know if many brokers still do B-book. I think they probably do. So based off of that, you still have to wait. Then you bring in the news, which is going to mean there's a ton more orders coming into the market. So then you're doing the same process, but you've also got now 10,000 other people doing the same. So there is like a digital queue, if you were. The best way I explained it is look at it like everyone used to game on Xbox and stuff like that, right? You can play normally and it's fine, but then when it's high traffic, you're going to wait ages to get in and out of a game. It's the same thing. So if you're trading, you don't want to be waiting to get in and out of your position. So the best time is just avoid those high volume times. Okay, so we did have the US Core PCE index. The actual was 2.7, but the previous was 2.6, and the forecast was... the forecast was 2.6, so it came out 0.1 better than it would. Where would stop gain be on the chart? Stop gain, so like TP. You mean if you were buying this? If you were buying through here? Your TP would either be up here or it would be just like a short little TP. Personally, I think here's a better target. That's what I think. There's a better target, and I believe we'll expand up to that. We'll see. No problem at all. Remember, if you haven't already, make sure you join the Pip Surfing Discord. Okay, it is 20 to 2 on this fine Friday. 20 to 2. So it means we've got about 50-ish minutes until the New York Open. Give or take. So the music in the background, guys, is just like a very subtle elevator music, if you were. Nothing crazy. Obviously on TikTok we just blast our own tunes. People make requests and all sorts, but we're banned from TikTok at the moment. So if you want to follow me, my new account on TikTok is very easy to find. It is simply this. Ross-rfx. Are those real gulls? What do you mean? Real gulls? Oh, what, the seagulls? Yeah. Yeah. In the background? Is that what you're talking about? What is the best currency pair to make profits in day trading operations? Very subjective question, to be fair. The main thing is focusing on getting that data. Collect that data, then you can test different pairs and you'll know what the probability is. There is no one or two pairs that are better than another. Yeah, dude, yeah. Only in Europe it sounded like? Yeah, well, I'm in the UK. And I'll show you where I am on the map right now. Let me show you. So this is my Google Maps, my Apple Maps. You can see me, that's me there, the little blob, and then that's the ocean. Right there, that's the ocean. So we're like, I can see the ocean, essentially. But the seagulls are like, they're not the one, dudes. They're not the one. They're horrible. You know, people refer to them as rats with wings. The thing is, as well, I would happily... Because what they do is they nest on the roofs. Because the way that we build our roofs, there's like a lot of roofs where they have like a slanted piece, then they have another slanted piece. And then there's like a small pocket which is almost flat. And they nest there. They nest on that little flat pocket. But the problem is, if you go within sort of 10 meters of that house, they're like dive bombing you and like... And another thing as well, if you clean your car, the second you clean your car, they just shit on it. Like this, it's almost like they do it on purpose. They see a shiny car and they're like, locking in, boys. Honestly, it's like some Top Gun Maverick shit. They're just gonna drop it off and just fly. And then they sit on the roof going, it's like, brother, pack it in, would ya? What a dream. Yeah, so this is the town that I've grown up in my whole life, so it's always been the same for me. You know, it's not, I don't want to sound, you know, like ungrateful, but it's not necessarily as much of a commodity as it used to be. The quality of the water is not great, so it's not really like something that's that usable. Also, the other thing is, excuse me, is that where you've sort of got it, you know, it's kind of like living in the woodlands and then people being like, wow, the forest's amazing. You're just sort of like, yeah, it's whatever. Where it's always there, it's just a bit like, meh, you know. It is good though, but the water companies that work around the area I live in, the UK government has some of the worst policies ever. I'm not a politician or anything like that, or politically minded in that sense. But the way that the laws are set out, it's actually cheaper for the water companies to illegally dump waste and pay the fine than it is for them to just dispose of it. It costs them more to dispose of it properly than it does just to pay the fine. And there's no other consequence outside of paying the fine because they own the whole water infrastructure. So what you're going to do, just stop them. You know, you can't just swap them out for another company. So that's kind of fucked. It's not ideal. Like, you literally have warnings. Operated in cryptocurrency. It wasn't very successful in the market with a lot of volatility and unpredictability. Yeah, this is what I was saying before, my friend, where this is why we teach the Orion trading system, because it's a system that you can test yourself and see the probability. Then you'll realize that as long as you operate in a certain way, the outcome will be the same. That's the main thing. Gotta love that. Yeah, I know, dude. It's just BS. They have literal signs that are like, the water is, you know, it's not good. I mean, people still swim, and like, some days it's good, some days it's bad. It depends what the current's like. But it's just BS, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's BS, mate. Let's have a look. Aussie. Right. Okay, so we are actually pushing up here on Euro. Interesting. New York Open is just around the corner now. Not far away at all. So I've had quite a few people ask me in my TikTok live streams what these pictures are behind me. One of them is... This one here is of a bike park in Wales that I visited with my dad for the first time, and then like a couple weeks later he bought me that. It's like a map of like all the different trails and stuff. And then this one is the constellation, or the, what's it called? Yeah, constellation or the star formation above the UK when my son was born. So it's got his name at the top, how much he weighed, and then it explains that this was, you know, this is the print that you left on the universe, sort of thing. The co-owner of Pip Surfing Society actually bought that for me. And as well, added bonus, the paper is like bioluminescent, so it glows. I don't know if is it bioluminescent or just luminescent? It glows at night, which is sweet. So I thought I'll put it in the office because the like the birth chart, yeah, kind of, yeah, it's like like I say, the stars that were above when he was born, exact time he was born, that's the formations above the place where he was born. So it's cool. I've never seen anything like that before. But it turned up in the post and I was like, what is this? And then I realised who it was from. I was like, that's nice, man. It's unique, you know? Okay, while we're waiting for New York Open to come, we've got an hour and 10 minutes on that. If you guys want to have a quick round of like when girls ask you what time you were born, do the woo-woo stuff. Yes and no. I'm not sure. Like, I think it's more of just like the relevance is it's completely unique. So I think it's like once every year it has the same thing, because obviously it's like we rotate around. but it's more to do with it's like, I think like that's his space in his chunk of history, if you were. I'm just big into the space stuff, so like that was right up my street. I don't know what what the symbolism or whatever, I don't know what that bit is. But while we're waiting for this to like do its thing, waiting for Euro to get up into the highs, looks like it's going to go soon. Let's do a quick game of Contextio. So, Contextio is a game where you ultimately give me a word. You give me a word, and it will give you... It will say to you that, oh, this is 300 away, or this is 200 away, or whatever. And the idea is, the closer you get to the actual word, the closer we are to winning. So the record that I've ever had on stream with Contextio is 34, which means we've guessed 34 words before collecting the actual answer and being correct. So if someone wants to give me a random word to start off with, I'll type it in and you'll start to see how this works. If not, I'll just start things off and put a word in and show you guys how we do this. Again, this is purely just a little bit of a time killer, breaks it up a little bit. If you want to join in, just like drop a random word in chat. Remember, if you're not a subscriber already, make sure you hit that subscription button and you'll be able to join in with this game. So I'll start off with trade. Okay, Virgo as well. So trade is a million miles away. So we'll do Virgo. Virgo is also a million miles away. So we'll do house. House is also a million miles away. Castle. Still so far away. Plane. Car. Wow, this is far out. Purple. Let's just do something. Nope, it's still... We are slacking on this one, chat. We'll do... person. Okay. That brought us up a lot. So... person is 90 away. Is there a process to the score? The score is... So if you're talking about the... So if you're talking about this bit, like... If you're talking about this... This is how close this word is to the number one word. So let's say it's let's say the word is man, for example. When you get woman, it will be like 2, because woman, man, they're like really, really close to each other. So if you said car, for example, and it was, I don't know, tire, car would be like 20 away from tire. So it's about the relevance. So person, the relevance of that, it could be like shoe. Let's see, and this will tell us if it's like mother. There we go, mother, daughter. You got it. Mother. Mother is further away, so it's not on that side. Daughter. Daughter is also further away. Person. We could do king. King is miles away, so we're not talking royalty. We're talking a singular person, a pet. Pet is also miles away. So you can see the way that mother, daughter, person is getting closer towards that. Okay, so I'm thinking person. Let's say like ghost. Let's see. No, ghost is way out. Princess. No, also way out. Can do like gold. Way out. So just so you know, Pope. Okay. Pope is where. This is a hard one, chat. This is a hard one. Just so you know, our best Our best is 34, and we're already on 16. So we're just under halfway. Okay, so person was the closest guess so far. People, person, party. Nope. Yeah, like people, person, leg, arm. Okay, so strong. Leader, like it. Oh, leader's close. Yeah, you're getting it. Man. Man is close. That's the closest guess we have is man. There we go. Chat. We're close. We're close right now. Leon is leading the way with the guess right here. So I'm thinking, man, dad. Nah. Father. No. Person, man. Saint. Nope, we're off. What I'm going to stop doing, chat, is using up the guesses. I'm just going to let you guys guess, okay? Because otherwise what happens is I go on a bit of a tangent and I use up all of the guesses, when in reality you're probably a little bit better at it than I am. Okay, so the top 4 right now is leader, person, people, man. Sister. I believe we have already done sister. I know we haven't, but it's way out. Way out. But that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to be, super close to get it. Having sister on there is not a bad thing because it lets us know that actually it's a little bit further away than that. So a man, a person. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking groom. This is what I mean. I'm thinking groom, chat. This looks good. Musk is 20,000. Way out. Maybe like president. Is that how you spell president? I'm like, I'll stop doing it, chat, so it doesn't use up all. We're 4 away. Leon managed to get us the highest guess so far. We're 4 away. Man, person, people, leader. They're your top 4. TP on EU. Beautiful times. GJ just flopping about. That's fine. Male is close. Male, leader, people, person, man. Men. Same difference, right? I'm thinking like son. Love that. Ah, unlucky. Did you buy stop? Yeah. Rogan. Nope. Let's do men. Word's already been guessed. Men's already been guessed. So son is not that close. Right, so we're 1 guess away now. Girlfriend. Girlfriend's way out. Unfortunately. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Right, we'll just try and get it. Now, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess? Do you want a hint, chat? Do you want a tip? Or a hints for pussies? I say we get a tip, right? Surely we get a tip. Skier. Skier? Olympian. Ooh. 21 with Olympian. Woman has already been guessed. Boxer. Nope. Sportsman. Oh, that's not how you spell sportsman. Sportsman. Sportsman is close, so we're getting in there. Olympian. Skier. Olympian. Athlete. I don't know how you spell athlete. I'm so dyslexic. Athlete. No. I'm so dyslexic. Just spills it out. Oh, we done it. Athlete. Athlete was the word. Athlete, guys. There we go. So you can see how it works now. We're going to do it a little bit more in the coming streams. So Olympian and athlete. There we go. So don't know if that's a little bit sexist because, you know, we put in woman, it's like, nah. Put in man, it's like, yeah. So, yeah, not the best, but we've seen worse, right? We have seen worse. So, a beautiful move on Euro there. We ran the highs. Gold, just continuing to... This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, chat. Go on to the 5 minute. Run the low, continue to run the low. Puts in a low, run the low, continue to run the low. Puts in a low, runs it, continues to run it. Yeah, puts in a low, runs it, continues to run it. Puts in a low, runs it, continues to run it. Puts in a low, runs it, and continues to run it. The same thing over and over and over and over again. So even though we're not coming to a 4-hour point of relevance, look at the way that it just keeps delivering. It's almost too good to be true, right? Let's go Euro. Okay, Euro has hit our daily high here. I believe it's a daily high. Yes. Euro's hit a daily high. Now, when we get to daily highs, there are chances of seeing price action reverse. I'm glad you guys find it so hilarious that I have to use voice to text. Okay, so we've tapped into that here, and there's a chance we could see price push back down. Generally, what we're going to be expecting price to do is just realign itself with where some of the more consistent price action is, where some of the orders sit on the lower time frames, or the higher time frames, sorry. It doesn't always happen like that, but when you're looking at it and you see hourly or daily points hit, you'll see what I mean in terms of here. We just take a skim over these in a second. Okay, we'll just look over these, right? These are daily highs and lows. You see, we hit the daily high, price realigns, then continues bullish. We hit the daily high, price realigns, then continues bullish. Yeah, so it's not for a long-term outcome, but what it's going to do, it is going to show you price running high, realigns for a more preferable area to go long from, continues going. Now there are obviously scenarios like this where it does nothing, and like this where it does nothing. Yeah, like here where it sort of hits it and then has a delay and then comes back, then goes up again. So I'm expecting to see a potential move like that again, possibly in this upper area. Just here, so we could see something like that. Yeah. So if you've watched the +1 episode of the Keep It Simple series, you would have seen me talk about this and how the counter trend bias can be applicable by simply looking at something as simple as that. Daily highs, daily lows. Alright, so make sure you give me a follow on TikTok, guys. It is Ross-rfx. What are the hours you live? Oh. What are the hours you live here? What are the hours you're live here? So the hours I go live are sort of different each day, and the reason I say this is because we haven't even really been going live on YouTube that much, to be honest with you. YouTube's a bit of a funny one. Like, it doesn't really do a great job of promoting you. I've been going live on TikTok a lot more, but generally it's sort of midday-ish, so 12 PM GMT. But when we get access to our TikTok back, I will be going live on there a bit more. But we don't have access yet, so. So generally around midday. Cheers, Leon. I appreciate it, brother. All love, man. Have a great weekend. Have an amazing weekend. What's everyone got planned for the weekend? I haven't got a huge amount planned, to be honest. I've got this afternoon, my partner she's got her nails, she's getting her nails done, and then she's going to cut some hair for someone later in the afternoon. Then tomorrow my partner is out for a brunch, so it's just me and the boys. We'll probably just have a little movie night or something. Then on Sunday, I think we are I think in the daytime Saturday we're going swimming. I think. I can't really remember, to be honest. I just show up and my partner does all the planning, you know? She does all the planning and I just rock up. As long as I'm there, it's the main thing. I normally do the driving too, so. What's everyone else doing over the weekend? I wish there was a option on here to do like little giveaways. You know, like on TikTok you can give away coins and stuff. They don't have that option here on YouTube. YouTube's quite bare bones in terms of what they give to creators, what they let creators do. And we're seeing consistent like 11 people in the live stream, which is good. That's good. To give you an idea, TikTok, we were getting like 85 people. BT and a boys' dinner tomorrow. Sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful. I'm not sure what BT is though. Back test. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, the question is, where are you going for dinner? Must be a steakhouse, right? Gotta be a steakhouse. There's a perfect example right here. I take it you can hear those seagulls quite loudly. Squawky little chickies. Moondog World, supposed to be good. Look it up. Let's have a look. Now I can't remember exactly where you're based. I feel like you're based in the USA. Moondog Brewery. Oh, Australia? Melbourne, yeah, Australia. Yeah, that looks sick, dude. What one you going to? Frankston, Docklands, Preston, Abbotsford. They look cool, man. You got the Wild West, the Wild West, the Beach Club, Doglands, the OG. Preston. Let's see. That's it's like a Waterland one. Water World. Take your trunks, dude. Jump in. Yeah, that looks great. The food looks amazing. Mates rates. Looks good, dude. Love it. Well, enjoy that, man. Enjoy that. Looks great. Okay, guys. We've got about 15 minutes till New York Open. We are 1 hour 40 into the live stream. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Now, it is Friday. I do encourage you to all make sure that you've, taken the precautions that you should have coming into the back end of this week. I'm going to wrap it up there. Just finish the day. I've got to sort some things out with a couple of students. I've also got to have a call. I need to be home by 4 o'clock. Lots of stuff going on this afternoon. So I don't want to spend too much time here on YouTube. It's been an absolute blast as always, and I appreciate every single one of you, from the new memberships to the new subs to everyone that's liked the live stream, everyone that's commented in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you. It's all love as always, and the main thing is to always follow your plan. Will this go live on YouTube? Yes, it will, my friend. Yes, it will. It will be on the YouTube for anyone to rewatch. So it's all good. If you're watching this right now and you haven't already hit that sub button, make sure that you do. If you haven't already hit the like button, we're trying to get to 10 likes for this. I'm sure we can, which is 3 more likes is all we need. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Peace and love to every single one of you. Remember, always make time for your loved ones and always focus on what is important. God bless. Take it easy, Bruno. Mind how you go. Daniel. Peace out, guys. Have a great one. And I'll see you.